Howdy everybody, it's time for a PNN pop-up. It's Friday. In a couple of hours, well less than a couple of hours, we have our live stream for PNN. I hope you're planning to join us for that because it's Friday Night Live. A couple of things I want to look at. One of my viewers sent me the deck of character, which I was always curious about. In fact, I helped a viewer to obtain this deck. She was having a hard time getting it because she wasn't on the internet, didn't have a computer. So I helped her to get this deck. And lo and behold, somebody sent it to me today. It's not even open yet. So thank you for sending that. And I got a couple more gifts too, which is very, very, it warms my heart so much. I don't make very much off of YouTube, so every little bit of donations helps too, and just, you know, just your presence. I'm going to look at a couple of things, and that will make PNN like less cumbersome. So we have to break things down into parts nowadays. So I'm going to ask a couple of things, and one is, I have wondered, and you have wondered, in a sane world, the party in power, when their candidate or their president is out of line, it was customary for their party to speak up and to do something like they did with Nixon. The reason that we're here is multi-layered, yes, but the main reason that we haven't been able to get out of this trap we're in, this authoritarian trap that we're in, is because none of the so-called Republicans have ever spoken up. Remember when Mitch McConnell didn't vote to remove Donald Trump? Impeach but not remove? He said, oh, the courts will take care of that later. I'll never forget that day. There's a lot of days I'll never forget. So I'm going to take a look at what's going on there. Also, and we may look into this a little bit further at PNN during our live stream, but also there are people who have completely changed personalities. Like Marco Rubio didn't used to be the way that he is now. So I'm just going to pull some cards to see why it is, to get a little more information about why it is that their minds are not being reasonable and reasoning. Like for instance, all these terrible things they're voting for will hurt their constituents, but not only that, would hurt their families, their own personal families. Let's see. I hope you plan to join us tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I'm asking why they have not stopped this runaway wrecking ball of a train of Dumpy. Because they're fools. They're kind of dumb. They're kind of, you know, you've heard of EQ, emotional quotient, like IQ, intelligence quotient, EQ, emotional quotient, emotional intelligence. The ones that aren't stopping this runaway train, destroying the United States of America as we speak more and more every minute of every day, just taking a wrecking ball to it, they're emotionally numbed out. Which makes me think about cult mind control. And they have a deal with the devil. It's because they made a deal with the devil, and the devil is the orange buffoon. That's why they made a deal with the devil. I get the devil card very frequently in reference to the orange buffoon. Very frequently. Doesn't go unnoticed by me. So, let's ask the pendulum. Is the orange buffoon, Pendulum knows who I mean, is he working for Satan? He's working for Satan. Whether you believe in Satan or not, that is a very strong yes. And so is Putin. I'll read up on that a little bit more in terms of how that all works, like the layers of hell. It's just, I shouldn't laugh. It's not funny. The Fool, the Devil, the Two of Cups. They've made a deal with the devil. So let's look at this. Can that deal be broken up? I'm going to use a different deck for this question. Can that deal... That's why they're not speaking up. They're watching what he's doing to this country, and they're not saying a word, which is further abuse. My Substack yesterday was entitled about the victims of the abuser in chief. A discussion about, you know, we are victims of the abuser in chief. So I'm pulling 3 cards to see if there's any wiggle room. There are people like Rand Paul and Josh Hawley, and there are others who you thought there wouldn't be any wiggle room, that they were just, every single thing Dumpy wanted, they would never ever push back against, and then they started pushing back. So I'm pulling 3 cards to inquire about, is there any room for some of these cult-minded MAGA Republicans to start thinking? They will, the threat for them is they will be isolated, and this is the world, and this is, my glasses are in the other room. Okay. They'll be hurting for going along with this. And there is wiggle room. Yeah, I actually see when they realize what a world of a mess they've contributed to, and that includes our standing on the world stage, when they see what a mess that they've contributed to, they will realize that they'll be left out on their own. They'll be left out in the cold from the party, the MAGA party. But in the whole scheme of things, they'll be better off. So I actually see like 2 Republicans, maybe it's those 2. How many Republicans will start to back away from the cult? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to do this again. How many MAGA Republicans are going to back away from the cult? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 MAGA Republicans are going to start backing away from the cult. The Cult of Trump, it's the name of a book. Very interesting. Okay, so now I'm going to ask a question about Pope Leo, because I've talked about this a lot through the years. There's like a web. Probably doesn't take a psychic to tell you this, but I pick up on this psychically. Clarence Thomas, like Josh Hawley's wife, and Josh Hawley, Leonard Leo, Harlan Crow, Opus Dei, Federalist Society, the writers of Project 2025. I'm asking about Pope Leo. I want to know if he knows in detail what they do. Calling on Pope Leo Does he know in detail what they do? The answer is yes. Does he have some ideas in mind on how to stop them? Yes. He's from Chicago. I think that is that he's from the United States. Pope Leo indicates, and the guy just saying something about the mob in Chicago. So, not that it's the same, but I'm feeling some similarities there. That Pope Leo, he has a pretty good idea of what's been going on in the United States and how we got into the mess that we're in with this Project 2025 BS. Okay. Let's pull 3 cards about that. I do feel that Pope Leo is making, energetically, he's making an impact. It's energetically right now. Could just be prayers at the time, at the present time. This card flipped over without me flipping it intentionally. So the 2 of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, he doesn't want to let on how much he knows. Pope Leo, I don't think he's intending to let on how much he knows, but the guy's just saying he speaks in codes. So the people that need to know what he knows know. 2 of Swords, that's showing me that he can't really make any audible sounds or physical moves or, speeches or anything like that. Pope Leo, about what he knows about Opus Dei and what they've done to the United States of America. Because between that and Russia, and don't think there aren't any threads going there, because there are. Yeah. But he has on his mind that he is going to work on getting this madness in the United States, this evil, shut down. I don't get that he's formulated a way to do that yet, but it's definitely something that Pope Leo prays about. Having some influence in some way over what's going on in America with the cruelty and the, oh my God, deporting people to foreign countries who haven't even committed a crime. The deporting people to foreign countries alone is bad enough. But for no reason, yeah. Pope Leo is, he's livid. I do pick that up. So, it'll be interesting tonight. I'll probably change my shirt so you know it's, it's a different video. We'll see you then. Please book a reading, psychicannetdion.com, and hit the thumbs up and subscribe. See you later on. Namaste. Keep the faith. Bye.